Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So what are we going to learn today? Some settings in Excel that are hiding inside Excel and enabling them can save you a lot of time. These settings are small settings that we generally tend to ignore, and today I am going to show you few of those settings. So what are we waiting for? Let's go. Hello everyone, I welcome you all once again, and today what we are going to learn is something very special. Excel comes by default with certain settings and we tend to think that they are okay. But today I am going to show you some settings that if we change depending on the situation we may benefit from the same. So the first one is a customs list. So what we do is normally when we type January we know it quite well that if we drop down February, March, April, May, June, July, all this, and similarly for Sunday, Monday, everything. But what if I told you that we could create our own list? Suppose, let me show you. Suppose we have some ratios list that we are normally using every day. So what we can do is we go to File, Options, and here in the Advanced tab we go to the General tab, which is below, and you can see that there is a General tab, and here Edit Custom List. So whatever the list, whether you have some employee list or any item list or product list, anything, if you have to type it regularly you can make it a custom list. Here what I will do is import, and I will choose the cells and add and then import. So this is done. So this you can do for your employee list or product list or some definite list which you have to type again and again, and OK. So what this will do is simply pressing OK, and what this will do is whenever I'm typing ratios, and then if I drop down this, you can see that I'm getting all the ratios very easily. So before going to trick number 2, let me tell you something about the nature of settings. By nature, settings are of 3 types: application level setting, worksheet level settings, and workbook level setting. What I have shown you is an application level setting, which means you have done it in your own application and any file you open here, it will work, but this will not work in other systems when you transfer the file or anything. So this will stay in your system only. Similarly, there are worksheet and workbook level which stays when you transfer but are limited to the files and the workbook and worksheet accordingly. So what I will do is in the description I will give you a ChatGPT link where I have asked ChatGPT the differences. You can see it has beautifully explained what is the behavior on transfer, what is the usage scenario, everything, and you don't have to think so much. But normally every setting is application level except unless specifically mentioned. Now coming back to the settings, setting number 2 is grid lines. Very simple. Normally we know that we can remove the grid lines and they can be handy at times, but what we can specially do is change the color of the grid line depending on our report. So what we will do is go to File, Accounts, and this is a worksheet level settings. So we'll find it here only, display for the workbook, for the worksheet, and here you can choose grid line color. So you can make it pink, red, blue, green, whatever you like according to your reports. Okay. Trick number 3, one of my favorite, because what we do is whenever I'm selecting something, this extra icon comes up, which is the quick analysis button, but I don't want it, although it is very helpful. And you can see I can do a lot of things, charts, totals, and especially in totals there are running total, percentage, and everything, right? But sometimes we don't like it and we can easily remove this. This is a default setting. So what we will do is File, again we'll go to Options, and then in the General tab itself, show quick analysis option on selection. If we remove this, we can see that we will not get it next time, although whenever we want it we can simply call it by Control Q, and it is an amazing trick. Similarly, in the General tab there are 2-3 more settings which you can change. Suppose this search box you don't use at all, so what you can do is you can hide it, File, Options, and we can go to general only and collapse the Microsoft search box by default, and you will see that the search box is gone, and whenever you need it you can access it, and when you do not need it will just not take up any space. Also, going again and again to file and options is a long thing, so what we can do is we can bring it on the quick access toolbar. What we can do, click here, go to more commands, and here we will choose file tab, and here options, and you can see I have already edited. Okay, so instead of going to file options here directly, we can click on the options here. Trick number 4 is one of my favorite again. Whenever we are working with the pivot table or filters, I'll show you something. Suppose I will insert a pivot table for this. Okay, and what we will do is particulars and value, but you can see that now there is only one date column, but as soon as I click on date, month, quarter, year, all these are coming extra. Sometimes I may need them, sometimes I do not need them. Similarly, in the sheet, if I search something on the basis of date, I have to go to this and then maybe February, and then I have to click on 20. So this is a long cut. What we can do is by default close it, and depending on our situation it may be helpful, it may not be helpful. So how we can close it? Very simple. We go to this again and advanced options for workbook again, and here you can see group dates. So now when I'm doing this, I can see that very easily all the dates are coming, and it may be helpful, it may not be helpful depending on your situation. The next trick is my favorite. So whenever we are working on a workbook, when we go to save it, it comes here, and again then we have to browse a place, and all this is long cut. Similarly, we have to open an existing file, so that's also very clumsy work. We have to go to file and then maybe open, again we have to browse. So what we can do is this backstage we can skip. Okay, save as shortcut is F12, I think you already know it, but when we want to save or open, we can skip the backstage. So how? Simple, we click here, and here in the save menu I can show don't show backstage when opening or saving a file for keyboard shortcuts. So now if I press Ctrl S, I will skip everything and directly come to the browse menu, or if I press Ctrl O for opening, directly I can open this without coming to the backstage. The next trick is again in the general settings, and here when we go to the general, we can see that how many sheets to be there on start of 1, 2, 3, or how much we want the font size, which font we want. All these settings can be done by default, and you don't have to go on changing them again and again. Time for bonus trick. Why am I calling it a bonus trick? Because you may or may not find this setting depending on your version. I recently found this and it's super helpful. So what we can do is, normally when we are somewhere in the middle of the cell, we have to see whether it's row number 14 or 15, or we tend to get confused. So for this, Excel has taken out a permanent solution. So we go to view, and here you can see focus cell, and now it is absolutely clear where am I standing. Also, you can change the settings of the color or anything you want. Suppose you want yellow or you want green, whatever you want, you can change it, and this is very well clear. Excel has over 200 settings, and these are very few of them which are important. Also, there are many other tricks, so very soon I am going to come with part 2 of this video. That's all for this video, friends. I hope you found the settings useful, and do mention in the comment which one was your favorite part today. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe our channel. Thank you. See you in the next video.